Hey, welcome to the first video of Fully Invested Fi Labs. This is a companion channel to the main channel, Fully Invested Fi. As I mentioned on the last video that I posted on there, I'll be posting videos on here for the next couple months as I kind of figure out a safe formula for titles and thumbnails in the short term and not worry about strikes. So long term, this will actually be a companion channel where I can post about accounts outside of my taxable brokerage account, which is firmly in the grasp of like the main channel. And yeah, so I'll cover things like my retirement accounts and what my plans are for those. I'll potentially post about my mom's retirement accounts in Canada, actually, and how I helped her retire with high yield ETFs this year. And then also maybe some like current thinking and plans for when I reach FI. Like they always talk about how if you reach FI or retire early, you kind of need to have like a bunch of stuff you want to do. So I've been thinking about that a lot. So that'll be kind of maybe fun to share on this channel. But for today, we'll be continuing the series of 100% paycheck investing. So yeah, I'll continue with episode 5 of the full paycheck investing series. You'll see how I live out of my brokerage account by investing 100% of my paycheck and then also paying bills out of my brokerage account. So as usual, you'll see like the full flow, the full thinking of everything. Everything is like completely uninterrupted. I've kind of filmed this all in one take. So yeah, I'm actually filming this on October 31st, but posting this on November 9th due to the second strike that I got and that I mentioned. So I had a 2-week ban because of that. And that lifts today on November 9th. So posting this up today. So as usual, before we get started, we'll just kind of go over the monthly flow that I use. So yeah, for anyone that's returning to the channel, feel free to skip through this if you're well acquainted with this. But for anyone that's new, this is the monthly flow that I use to live out of my Robinhood Brokerage account. I'll give an abbreviated version of this. There's also a longer version of this video that I'll link up top on the main channel. But the idea is here is that my WP2 paycheck comes in, that comes in, my business income, any cash back from credit cards, and I fully invest that. So typically at least 10.8K gets invested in my taxable brokerage every month. I basically split that into 2 buckets. So I invest 4,000 of that, roughly 40% of the paycheck, into growth and dividend growth stocks and ETFs, things like QQQM, SCHD, Apple, Microsoft, Costco. Any quarterly dividends that come in from that, those get dripped, and the idea there is to ideally always be compounding in this account. Like I'm ideally never going to sell anything. The only time I might sell is to just rebalance among funds, or maybe like sell from single stock to just push them back into ETFs such as QQQM. And then on the other side of the portfolio is the high yield income ETFs. So that provides income. The other side provides really the capital appreciation for the portfolio and keeps that growing. And this provides income. So I invest in funds like XPay, WPAY, YMAX, ULTY, things like that. That roughly provides a 50% blended yield. And that provides a snowballing monthly dividend that's kind of currently growing anywhere between $200 and $300 a month. And that gets deposited to cash and pays down the margin balance every month. Because the main thing I'm creating here is basically just a big asset pool, essentially. And what I do is borrow against that. So I don't take on money by selling any assets and pulling that out. What I do is borrow against the full asset value of that account. So right now the account is actually, after today, is actually sitting quite a bit higher. And I borrow against that value. And actually now this is a 4.75% interest rate because Fed funds rate actually lowered by 25 basis points, as you can see from Fed's decision this week. So yeah, what's great is that as the Fed funds rate lowers their interest rates, my interest rate will drop as well for margin. So it becomes even cheaper to borrow capital. So yeah, this is actually way cheaper than my mortgage. My mortgage right now is 5.95%. I wish I had this interest rate for my mortgage. And essentially $9,000 comes out of the account every month to pay my expenses. That's roughly where my expenses are at. Varies anywhere between $7,000 and $9,000 a month. And that's what pays my bills and expenses. Essentially, given that I have like about $5,000 of dividends that gets deposited every month, basically only the difference of that comes out in margin, essentially, right? Because if $9,000 gets taken out, but then $5,000 gets deposited in dividends, $4,000 is that difference, right? So yeah, the idea is to like rinse and repeat that until I'm 40 years old and to like really just compound those monthly dividends to eventually exceed my monthly expenses and my paychecks. And yeah, hopefully I reach 5 by 40 with this method. And as usual, I have to give the disclaimer, like none of this is financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes only, for you to follow along whether this strategy works for me or not. I'm just some dude on YouTube. You have to do your own research. It's a very high risk strategy that I'm running given the margin. So yeah, with that, let's hop in. All right, first things first. We'll transfer over funds from the spending account to the brokerage account. So if we pop over to spending, I'll open that up in a separate tab here. So as you can see, my big paycheck came in today on direct deposit here of $20,567. So this is a big combo of my normal paycheck and then also my big annual bonus that came in today. So the annual bonus itself was a little over 26K, and then after taxes, I think 11 point something K of that comes out. So it's 15.1 that comes out in the end. So I already calculated it here. So this was the normal paycheck today, and then also a 15.1K bonus over here. So yeah, we're going to be investing this full amount today. So $20,567.21. So yeah, first things first, I'm just going to pop that over to the brokerage account to invest. Spending to individual. So yeah, notice that the individual has 19K right now, and that should pop over with this. So transfer, right? So if we check the individual now, yeah, that amount has gone up. Let this refresh. Great. So 161,000. Buying power went up by double that, essentially. And yeah, so first things first. So first I'll do this in two chunks, right? So first I'll invest the paycheck portion as normal, and then I'll do the bonus. So for the paycheck portion, so as usual, so 5431. So I'm going to do 2,000 for growth, and then this will be how much I put for the high yield, 3,431. So for growth, I'm going to keep it pretty simple this week. So as you know, for the last few weeks, I was kind of going heavier in other growth single stocks. So I'm kind of finding myself getting a little bit heavy on the single stock stuff. So yeah, if we go to like my anchors, right? So yeah, these are practically pretty much 50-50 between the ETFs and the stocks. So I want my ETFs to kind of go a bit higher. So at least for now, instead of kind of selling anything off of Microsoft or Apple or things like that, which are pretty heavy. These are my two big ones in the single stocks. Yeah, I'll just kind of invest more in the ETFs just to kind of help balance it out over the next few weeks. So yeah, so for today, we'll just do QQQM, honestly. So it's near all-time highs, unfortunately. I wish I could invest on a dip day, but yeah, can always get it. And as usual, like I forget if I've ever said this on video, but I've definitely said it in the comments. Like my philosophy is that I will DCA every paycheck, whether the market's up or down. I'll be even happier on down days, but I think over time it'll just average out. So yeah, so let's put $2,000 into QQQM. And the reason I picked QQQM over like VGT in this case is actually like I noticed that funds like Amazon and Meta and stuff like that actually weren't in VGT, just because they fall under communications or whatnot. But yeah, so that's why I picked QQQM, and that there's like a little bit more funds there. There are days I'm thinking about like SCHG because there's like up and comers like Reddit and Robinhood and stuff like that, which I have in the single stock funds too. So I might maybe eventually do that one day. But for now, yeah, just gonna do this. Yeah, so $2,000 for QQQM. Do that. Cool. And then have $3,431.21 that I have to invest for the high yield side of things. So yeah, let's go over to the portfolio here and have a look. Yeah, let's just look at stuff here. So my plan for the bonus today is actually to put it all into WPAY, right? So 15K is going to go into this. So this will bring this holding to like 18K. And so WPAY and YMAX will be about equal. And then ULTY is going to be at like 14, 16K here. So I think to kind of have it all evened out between YMAX, ULTY, and WPAY, I'll actually put it into ULTY. And I know everyone's been hating on ULTY these last few weeks. Yeah, it's definitely like taking a hit with the downturn the last couple of weeks. And yeah, I know there's like competitors coming out with like Rex and Curve and such. And honestly, I'm not letting the FUD with ULTY necessarily scare me out right now. Like I know the NAV has calmed down. I'm like just barely in the green as far as like total returns here. So just 0.18%, down 13% with on the unrealized side. Because yeah, gotten pretty decent dividends there. And I think the thing that's not scaring me out right now, at least, is that the distributions have actually been pretty consistent. So if we pop over to the history here, since they made the switch to weekly, right? So it's kind of hovered in the 10-9 cent range. This last one has been 8 cents, of course, but we'll keep an eye on that if it keeps falling or not. But even as the NAV has gone down, like it has stayed like pretty consistent with the distribution, which I'm happy with. So yeah, I think I'll keep doing ULTY. And yeah, and as far as like the new competitors with like Rex and Curve, I'll definitely keep an eye on them. It's more of a thing of like, I don't think, at least for now, is my thinking is that I wouldn't necessarily sell out of ULTY to kind of go into those competitors. It might maybe be more of a thing of like what I did with WPAY here is that I'll just add to the portfolio and have more diversity that way. So I'll be very curious I'll be keeping an eye on those to see how they perform and in comparison to ULTY, if they hold up their NAV better for whatever reason based on their strategies. But I'm all for having a diversity of ways the income's generated between ULTY, between YMAX, between WPAY. It's all very different strategies. So yeah, I'm good with that diversity there. So yeah, so let's do ULTY. So I'll be buying 300, 431, 21. Okay. And then that'll give me 85% return roughly. Okay, cool. Just confirm. All right, done. So yeah, this number's all staying the same because basically like I transfer that money, but then my buying power is going down. And yeah, that just stays the same because that money just stays in the portfolio essentially, right? I'm just kind of adding to the market value through the margin. And now for the big bonus. So yeah, if we pop back over to my tracking spreadsheet here. So yeah, so the bonus is 15,136. So a big meaty one. And yeah, honestly, it's scary doing it on WPAY at like near all-time highs for it, but probably ideally would have been good to DCA over the next couple of days. But honestly, that's the thing with timing the market. Like who knows what it's going to do. Like, yeah, I could probably get the average, but I'll just do it all in one lump sum. And yeah, the market will do what the market will do. And yeah, because like if we look at year to date, yeah, actually the all-time high was actually like 56. So at like 54 or so, but still. If I had gotten at this the other week, would have been perfect. But yeah, I wasn't paid yet and didn't want to use a margin there to eat up the buffer. So yeah, I think I'm just going to put it all in the WPAY. And then yeah, that'll push up the monthly income quite a bit. And yeah, with the nice holdings that they've added between Costco, ARM, BABA and all that, some extra diversity in there. So yeah, let's do it. So 15,136 review order. Whoa. Nerve-wracking doing as big of a buy of that. Like the last time I did this was last year actually when I got my other annual bonus, and actually that was when I kind of dipped my toe in a big way into the high yield ETFs, and I bought NVIDIA last year. That was the big one. So which is not bad. So like I had done some buys before that and some subsequent after, and especially with drip. But yeah, basically in the year since I've invested into NVIDIA though, I've basically gone back that initial 15.1K that I've put in. So, and then some, and then I had dripped like, yeah, roughly 8,000 of that, but probably a bit more given the erosion. But yeah, NVIDIA's done pretty well overall. And yeah, still considering whether I'd sell that off to kind of go into YMAX or whatnot, because its yield has been a bit weak for the last few months. So yeah, just keeping an eye on that. Or I might just kind of just go heavier into like YMAX and ULTY and stuff like that and kind of balance things out that way. But yeah, that's for the investment part of the full paycheck. So my full paycheck was invested, my full bonus was invested, and yeah, now we're good. So yeah, last thing I'll have to do here is just update my spreadsheet with all the numbers. So yeah, now my buying power is at 59,000 after all those buys. Have a lot of cash available now because like half of basically what I put in is available for cash. So before I was at 19,000 and that basically added 10,000 to cash. So now I'm at 29,000. So I have like a really good buffer there. So 85K or 53%. And yeah, let's just update the portfolio here. So WPAY and then what did I do? QQQM. So yeah, let's grab it. 59. So nice average down there, given that ULTY has been going down. For WPAY, 344. And the average cost has went up here, given that it's gone up since I invested into it. Cool. And then 110 and change. 202.13. So that's going to average up because of how strong QQQ has been doing this year. Cool. So with that puts my market value at just under 300K. Which is great. So $296,211. My net value is now at $161,666. Or actually, yeah, let me just update my margin numbers as well too. So margin total has gone up by quite a bit. So this was my older one, so you can kind of see that this has gone up by 20,000 essentially. And then my margin used, this should actually be the same because the margin went down because I transferred the paycheck, and then it went back up because I invested it all. So yeah, that's what the margin's looking like. These numbers all match Robinhood as well too. So great, yeah, full thing's invested. So now that is, so like the market value's up, the net value and margin is up. Now I'll pay the bill out of it. So the key thing to understand there, and I get a lot of questions for this, is that people keep thinking it's like, oh, you're just moving money here and then transferring back out to pay bills. And no, the key part is that I am moving the money, but by investing it, I'm basically turning those into assets that are growing, whether through the growth side or the high yield side. The growth side's providing the capital appreciation, and then the high yield side is providing my monthly income, right, and increasing that. So on the note of monthly income, looks like, yeah, my monthly income might actually go up to all the way to $6,700 per month potentially. This is like an estimate because I kind of just do the median of the payments for high yield stuff here, and yeah, that's the rough estimate that's getting there. So like WPAY right now would be paying about $1,000 a month. ULTY would be paying about $1,400 a month, and yeah, so we'll see how this holds up now that that big influx of cash came in. But, and yeah, what's my yield now? Yeah, 57% yield. And not to be confused with returns. Yield is not returns. So yeah, because yeah, like once you factor in the NAV erosion, like yeah, the return's actually much lower than that. But yeah, so the main thing is to get, I'm getting the assets invested. So now that the portfolio value has gone much up, and then basically now I'm gonna take out a payment out of here to pay my mortgage essentially. So yeah, I'm not selling anything to do that. I'm basically just borrowing against this full market value, right? So right now as it is, like roughly 65% of my portfolio is marginable. So like I can basically borrow up to this total amount because of all the money I've put in, right? But I'm only using 134K of that. So yeah, I want to keep a healthy buffer there because I am withdrawing from my portfolio, right? So because any cash I put in, it actually, like half of that is available. Any cash I put in and invest, only half of that is available for withdrawal. So key thing to understand there, and that's why I have like quite a bit of buffer. So I get a lot of questions about that as well. So yeah, let's just pop over back to my savings sheet here. So now, yeah, so now that this is invested, I can kind of color code this. And then actually, yeah, my rent came in earlier today, so I'll just pop that over. So yeah, big month of outperforming. So this number is basically over just my standard paycheck. So putting in like 250% of my normal paycheck, which is nice between all that. And yeah, so my mortgage this month is the same, $2,998.31. So basically what'll happen is I'll just transfer this over to my spending account. And then after the video is done recording, I'll actually just go into my mortgage site and withdraw that. So it'll just go straight from the spending account. So if we go to spending, I'll just refresh this to make sure it has all the latest stuff. And yeah, so 2,998.31. So we want that from investing, so you can kind of see here. So there's like a big amount of cash here from the influx of cash. So yeah, just under 30K available to withdraw as cash. So like if I wanted to, I could withdraw this full thing, and actually like my margin buffer would actually still be pretty good, right? So like if I withdraw like 30K, let's say, let's even just kind of run the numbers here. So like if I withdraw 30K and reduce my margin buffer by 30K, yeah, my margin buffer would still be 34% for the net portfolio or 18% for the full portfolio. So I could still withstand this drop before getting a margin call. But as I said, I want to keep that buffer healthy, so I'm not going to do that. Just to show that and to illustrate that, like, yeah, it could actually work. And yeah, notice how my equity has gone up here with all that influx. The margin buffer has gone up. So all this is pretty healthy. Now my margin buffer for my full portfolio is actually 29% from the 24% I originally had. So going pretty good. So yeah, let's just finish transferring this over. And yeah, that's that. So I'll just transfer that back. Taking a minute here. Great. So yeah, if we refresh this, should see money in there. Great. So yeah, I'll just withdraw this after the video. And that'll be my mortgage payment for the month. So yeah, if we check, yeah, this has gone down by exactly that amount. So now I have like 26K of available for withdrawal. So at the end of the day, if I pop back over here, these numbers would all updated because I'm basically adding that to margin, right? So I'll just update that margin number as well. And then also the margin total as well. That's gone down because I drew that on margin. So yeah, as far as the final numbers here, so market value stays the same even after all that because I didn't sell anything. $296,020, and my net value is 158.4K. So yeah, that's the full paycheck, full bonus invested, my bills paid for the month. Yeah, last thing, I'll just do my little color code here. Paste format only. There you go. So yeah, that's October done. So yeah, good month overall between everything. Got my first YouTube payments and related payments, and that's been invested as well into GOW, as I mentioned. So that's up to 627 that I've put in there. So yeah, this is the way that you'll be able to track how much I'm getting from earnings from YouTube for anything related to the channel. I'll be putting it in there as like a little tracker stock for people. Again, just want to be transparent about everything. And yeah, and that's the video for this week. As usual, if you look down in the description of my videos, you'll be able to see various things you can follow me through. You can follow me on Blossom Social over here. Great little platform to just discuss with other investors. You can see any of my posts on there, any of my trades as they happen. So like all of today's trades you'll see here from like QQQM, ULTY, WPAY, and all that. You can also do the same through my Snowball Analytics portfolio, which is free to follow. You'll see all my real numbers, nothing's hidden, my real percentages, all my real gains, my real losses, my positions, all my total profit here, what's in the green, what's in the red. Yeah, love being transparent about all that, and you can kind of follow that along there for free. And then also, yeah, as I mentioned on the main channel, I do now have a Patreon that you can follow along with. I'll be posting all my YouTube videos on here as they go live, so I'll post all my old ones on here and any new ones, and you can kind of follow along there for free and follow those videos. For anyone that actually does want to contribute to the channel and support it that way, there is a little supporter tier that's on here, so feel free to join that or not. Completely optional, but for free, you'll get all the same videos you get for free on YouTube. And also, there is now the Discord channel as well that I've mentioned a couple times. But yeah, we're pushing past 100 members now, which is great. Yeah, you'll have a bunch of different channels here, keeping it simple for now and expanding based on member feedback. Yeah, this is completely free. Feel free to join if you want. Lots of great discussion here on the channel. I run ideas by people, get a trade alert bot here for all my things, for any buys that happen. Yeah, you kind of see all the payments or all the buys that happen today, for example. And yeah, so many ways to kind of see how my buys are happening, whether through Discord, through Blossom, or Snowball. So feel free to follow along. And yeah, if you got some value out of this video today and want to keep following along on this channel or on the main channel, definitely give a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.